Welcome back to Suntech Pro's T10 Blast. We have Samp Army versus Ultimate Emperors. First over was a great over, and the second one by Always Jelani is also good so far, except for the wide. He has they both put Jacob. I'm not pretty sure how to pronounce his last name, but Pineser maybe. Yeah. Under check, right? So for 6 balls, just 1 run there, and Dane Pete um, played just 2 balls for no runs. So far, this is absolutely the best start for Ultimate Emperors. This is the kind of start that you would need or you would want in the power play. He's keeping the ball full and outside off. So far, pretty good bowling. You have a couple of boundary riders, both on the leg side, one on the deep mid wicket, and one on mid long on. And we have 2 other fielders on the leg side, right next to the umpire for square leg, short square leg, and then a short mid wicket. As you could see, most of the fielders, that was a bad ball onto his hip, and then there was a huge dive, but the fielder was unable to stop the ball from going to the boundary. So the first boundary coming to the Samp Army, and the Samp Army team is hoping for more of these to come. That was the first bad ball which could have been dispatched, and they did. With the talents of Dane Pede and Jacobus, it's not going to be easy for Ultimate Emperors to contain any runs with those guys staying, so they have to go for their wickets. Another very good ball onto the off stump. Dane Pete just defending the ball. The fielders being on the line, on the 30-yard line, would not be able to stop that single. They are content with giving those singles to these big hitters. In this power play, they're just trying to minimize the damage as much as possible. The last ball of the over, and that was a long heave on the outside off, and then that's rolled into the boundary. Good boundary to finish the over. So the over that started off pretty good didn't end good, giving a couple of boundaries in the last 3 balls. Samp Army is at 14. Going for 12 runs in that over was Ovesh Gilani. He had his field on the leg side. He could have put the ball on the stumps. Good things happen when you put the ball on the stumps, but this time they decided to keep the ball outside off with no fielders on the sweeper. That was an easy boundary for Jacobus' talent. Obus, yes, thank you. He goes by the name Obus instead of Jacobus, which is what I've been saying. Obus is a good bat. He plays for an MLC team. He also trains with the Samp Army kids. The new bowler into the attack, Ashwin. Big appeal. Oh, it's not the new bowler. It's the same bowler who bowled the first over. Ashwin with he's bowling good line and length, enticing the batsman to hit. He's bowling pretty straight, and he has mid on inside, and that's why he has a long off fielder, so he would probably want to keep the ball outside off, so that, and then that's the same reason he has a fielder deep in the deep cover. So his intention is to keep every ball outside off. Always, I believe, who is the captain, is adjusting the field, making sure that he gets the angles right. When you have a fielder and long off and deep cover, you want to keep it outside off full. That's a pretty bad ball when especially for the field you have. You have just one short square leg fielder, and you cannot afford to bowl that dollies. Luckily, it was wide enough that Dane Pete couldn't reach it. If it was any close, so that he should be happy that it's actually a white ball and not close enough for the batsman to hit it. Another bad ball down the leg side. The keeper did his best to stop the ball, saving extra runs. In this format, T10 format, especially when you're bowling just 2 overs, the bowlers need to be ultra focused, making sure that they're executing their ball. Those two balls were pretty bad, and now another ball that was going down the leg side. It was probably on the sixth or the seventh stump. Bowler should consider himself lucky that that wasn't hit for a boundary. Absolutely no deep riders on the leg side. Lucky to not get the bat is the bowler, and unlucky for Dane, he couldn't get the bat on the ball. 3 balls so far, couple of wides, and then another ball down the leg side. There, Obus is not taking a huge start. There is potentially a chance that if he took a start, he could have gotten the single. Even in the previous ball, most of the fielders are at the 30-yard mark, especially the point fielder, Gully and Fine Thirdman. I don't know. Anyways, so they have 3 fielders on the 30-yard mark. Okay, this time Dane got a hang of it, and then was able to dispatch it towards the cow corner. Pretty bad over, but pretty lucky that he couldn't get the balls out of the park. Last ball left in this over. Ashwin would consider himself very lucky to just concede 9 runs in this over. Dane Pete definitely missed out. Even with that, it's 22 for no loss in the last ball of the power play coming on. I was just outside off, close enough to the wide line, umpire signaling wide. For his field that he put, that is probably where he should be targeting. I always wonder when you are setting up a field that is pretty much on one side, are you giving away something to the batsman? Are you saying, this is where I'm going to bowl, and it's up to you to hit the ball? Another ball on the stumps. Dane went cross court and was able to get another boundary. Ashwin finishes his spell for 14 runs. I feel like Samp Army is very well placed for 3 overs, 27 runs. And those two batsmen are now pretty much, their eye is in, and they're going to go after the bowling. But at the same time, the power play is done, so they're going to have more fielders outside protecting their boundaries. So potentially, this is going to be a good matchup for the next bowler, whoever that is. We have a big crew here taking care of the commentary and the cameras and the whole setup. New bowler in, looking at the mark. It looks like it's going to be a spin attack. I have to say, the outfits this year have been pretty good. Very impressed. I like that they're not plain and they have some design on them. And they're pretty bright as well. We are still waiting for the bowler name. Obus just wanted to see what the bowler bowled. He's definitely looking at the boundary line, and I think that was just to make sure that he understood what the ball was gonna bowl. Uh, Another good ball, similar ball. It's good line and length. He is making sure that he's bowling his ball, and if the batsman you think you're good enough, go for it. He has two boundary riders on long off and long on, which is where potentially Dane would be eyeing. That's a good big shot, and the fielder is going back, and it's gone. It's a six. Um, that's what the bowler is was trying to do. Obviously, trying to get that wicket on the long on side, but Dane Pete is a much better batsman, was able to dispatch it for a six. So Sridhar, we need to check what his next plan is going to be. Is he going to keep it full on the stumps, you hit or I hit, or is he going to try something, try to keep it outside off short? He kept it short this time, but he has a fielder there protecting the boundary. The ball going towards cow corner. So we have to see whether Sridhar is going to leave the ball short, or is he going to bowl full to Obers, because he bowled two full balls and he was successful. Is he going to bowl a full ball or a short ball? He bowled a short ball and it zipped in as if the batsman wasn't anticipating. It was a reluctant shot. He didn't show a lot of intent in hitting that ball. Maybe premeditated, assuming that the ball would be a certain way. But there were only two options here, like the way Sridhar is bowling. Keeping it full, both of them are on the stumps. Keeping it full or short is the only thing that is changing. This time, full outside off, bowling to his field, misfield there, and picked up and threw the ball inside, costing 2 runs as opposed to just being a single. So except for that six, Sridhar bowled a good over. He executed his balls, but Dane Pete came out strong, hitting that six. Obers is done with his helmet. He feels like the bowlers are not bowling enough pace for him to keep his helmet on. He took his helmet off. He doesn't know who the new bowler is going to be, but he's done with the helmet for the night. Both Dane Pete and Obers getting rid of their helmets. The new bowler coming in. Is this Budi Sudhi? New bowler in, bowling leg spin. It was a full ball, very well fielded. The short cover fielder could be Owace. There was some sound. Obers didn't look pleased by the decision. There was definitely some sound. And Sudhanshu, with his first over, second ball, he was able to get the prized wicket of Obers. He wasn't feeling himself today. We could tell. That was very well executed. The ball didn't raise as much as you would expect, and I feel like it was an inside edge, and the keeper did a good job taking a catch. One of the things that we have noticed is sometimes it's much easier to play fast bowlers than spinners at this time of the evening. The ball does weird stuff, the wicket does weird stuff, and then on top of that, this is probably one of the bigger fields that we have in North Carolina, Church Street Park, and it's not easy for anyone to just clear the boundary. People have You'll not see someone give like tons of boundaries on this unless the batsman is really going after them. This is, in my opinion, a bowler friendly pitch and ground. A good bowler figures out how to bowl to his field. Obviously, the power play is difficult, but when the spinners come in, it's not easy to hit, especially for the new batsman. But Sanjay, that was a fantastic shot. That was a quicker one bowled by Sudhanshu. And for a new batsman, they did not have a slip, so he was comfortable in edging it past. And it was a fantastic shot at that point, just chipping it in over, and then I would say gliding it over and for an easy boundary. That was a really, really bad ball and hit for a six. Sudhanshu, who bowled two great balls, and even the third one wasn't that bad, but this one, it felt like he wanted to put more revolutions in. The ball got stuck in his hand, and it just came off pretty bad. As a spinner, I know how that feels. Sometimes the ball gets stuck in your hand. The more slower and the more revolutions you want to put, and it could go the other way. Complete 180 there. It went short and quick, and it was a dolly. Sanjay couldn't have gotten a better start for Samp Army. The first two balls hitting for boundary, four and a six. Let's see if Sudhanshu could get his groove back and bowl his ball, which is enticing the batsman, bringing his fielders in the point area in. That's the ball that he wants to bowl. That's a similar ball that it's a similar ball that Opus got out. That's the ball that he wants to bowl because he has two fielders, one on the point, one maybe too deep, in my opinion, for a gully fielder. And then that single is there all day long. Regardless of which team is batting or bowling, anyone can get that single because most of the fielders are standing back, especially the point fielders, so there is no way that they could stop that single there. But with the field that he had set, deep sweeper and a long off, he could bowl that outside off and make sure to make the batsman hit outside off, creating a chance for a dot ball into the keeper's hand and potentially getting the ball into one of the fielder's hands as well within the 30 yard. That should be the intent of the bowler. We have the same bowler come back, Sridhar. Sridhar is back. He's back to his full deliveries. Dane wasn't able to hit that this time around. I think that's not a bad ploy on this wicket. You keep the ball onto the stumps, make the batsman play straight. You have your two fielders. If you have the faster ones, this one was hit way too straight, and that was a fantastic effort over there to save a couple of runs for his team. So you need really when you bowl that line and length, you want to make sure that your long off and long on fielders are a little straight as well, and also they are quick on their feet, reacting and taking a start, making sure that that's fantastic shot. Dane moved across, waited until the last minute, and used the bowler's pace and just glided it between point and gully for a boundary. Very well played. This is the first time in this over he kept the ball a little short. Maybe moving across made him rethink which ball to bowl. And Dane was pretty smart, realized that if the ball was short, he knew the exact shot that he wanted to execute. He didn't want to hit it squarer, he wanted to hit it as fine as possible. Another ball that was pretty straight, and the umpire had to duck to get out of the way, but good reflexes by the umpire as well. The boundary rider on the long on, if the cameraman could get who that fielder is, he's doing a fantastic job saving, taking a catch, uh, uh, and stopping the boundaries there. There you go. Another ball that was bowled straight and hitting the stumps. And this is the advantage of this type of bowling. You put your right fielders in the right positions, and you're telling the batsman you have to do something because I'm not going to make a mistake. If you want to score runs, you have to hit your shots. Nothing's going to come for free. And Sridhar executed his ball. I personally like this type of bowling because it's very, you can set a field for this. As a captain, you have to make sure that you get your angles right on the point and the gully fielder, and you need to make sure that your long on, long off, and your mid wicket are placed very well as well. The new batsman in is Riken Mistry. He's a pretty good batsman both on leather and HT. He, if I were Riken, I would take a couple of balls to settle in, and the easiest way to get to play those two balls is to take a single, give it to Dane, who's looking pretty good. He's in a pretty good nick. He was able to hit a six, but it's the last ball. I wouldn't personally want to get a single here if I was Dane. So that's why I feel Ricken just said, I have two options here. Either I get a boundary or either I get my eye in. And he decided to get his eye in, not take a chance and hit a boundary because he knows that if he just doesn't get out, Dane is going to take over the next over, and whoever the bowler is, he's going to go after him. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they brought in another spinner. It's change in bowling or not. It's 6 overs. If we could get the scorecard, then we can see who has bowled how many overs. Yeah, so Owais has an over left. He'll probably come back towards the death. And Sudhanshu, they kept him. Uh, they probably want to use him later as well. They have to get their fifth bowler in, and they decided to do it in the seventh over. And that's going to be Chinmay Kusharep, probably. That ball is way outside off. Easy for the umpire to call it a wide. Um, for some reason, they want to keep the ball outside off. Maybe they know something about Dane that he likes to hit it on the onside and keep it outside off as much as possible. Another ball that kind of drifted. He wants to bowl an out off spin, but the ball is coming out pretty flat, and it's just drifting in the air. Maybe if he can bring it, if he can bowl a little closer to the wicket, that's a huge shot for a six. It fell on the concrete, not even on the grass. That was a fantastic six by Dane. So this is the problem when you try to bowl, try to bring it a little bit in, and you don't execute your ball. His first two balls were pretty good, except for they were a little farther away from the off. He should have probably bowled the same ball, but he was bowling closer to the wide line from the non-striker's end. So a lot of times when you're an off spinner, you probably want to come a little closer to the stumps and execute the same ball rather than changing the ball to bowl more towards the stump. So it comes with some practice. I'm assuming that Chinmay is now saying, I'm going to bowl the same ball, but this time I'm going to do it from similar to the first two balls, but this time I'm going to come around the stumps to execute that ball. Let's see how it's going to go. It's a fantastic shot, but this it went through the fielder's hand for a six. So I think it was a I think it was a pretty good shot by Dane. He knew exactly what Chinmay was planning to do. So he went for 14 runs off his first two balls. Not the kind of start that Ultimate Emperors wanted from their fifth bowler. Uh, Ashwin had a chance. The ball went through his hand. A better fielder potentially. This is the ball that he wants to do. This is the ball. This is the ball that he wants to execute. A little Dane doesn't want to take a single. He likes this bowler. He wants to go after this ball. But there is a chance if Chinmay executes his ball, he could get Dane's wicket here because Dane wants to go after this. Another ball that was hit hard and straight. Ashwin uh, picks up the ball and sends it in. He had a good chance of getting his wicket earlier. But now it's Ricken's turn. With the new batsman in, he needs to go back to his first couple of balls. This is a good ball. As you could see, the ball just went up right there, and then it fell on keeper's face, and it's a drop catch. So unfortunate for Ricken there. So unfortunate for Chinmay there. Ricken very lucky that he didn't get out for that huge heave. Sometimes you could get with your helmet on. It is not an easy catch to take. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries for the same ball. This time they could probably get a two there. They're not even going after the ball. Looks like Chinmay must have pulled something because he didn't. He's not going after the ball. He's grabbing his left thigh or something. So that was a very very expensive over, going for 17 runs. Not the kind of seventh over that you would want. I wouldn't be surprised if if Chinmay leaves the field for a substitute fielder. I do see a couple of substitute fielders in the pavilion. If Chinmay is hurt, it's a good time for them to get a substitute fielder in. There are quite a few people at this hour walking around the park trying to get their steps in. This is, for me, October is one of the best months. You have lots of cricket, playoff cricket going on. Now also HT cricket going on as well, fall cricket going on. And obviously, there's a miscommunication there between the long on and the cow corner fielder doing pehle aap between each other. The new bowler, Damodar. Uh, most of the captains, what they are realizing is you would want someone who can keep it line and length, medium pace or slow onto the stumps, and make the batsman make the mistake here. Sometimes the ball could get zipped, and it could be an easy dot to the keeper. Um, but most times, if you're not very careful, if you get into gaps, twos are everywhere on this ground. Get past any of the fielders on the in circle, and two is waiting around the corner for you. Sometimes on this ground, instead of hitting a hard shot like that into long on or cow corners, it is more advisable to just uh, glance it past the square leg umpire or even straight. This is the ball that most captains want their bowlers to bowl. A ball that is pretty slow in the air and potentially making let the pitch do the job by keeping the ball low. This is a ball that they would probably want to hit straight rather than on the cross. Oh, this is a fantastic reverse shot. It went past. It went past the fielder. Very well executed by Dane, and that's Dane's 50. A 25 ball 50 by Dane Pete. Clearly the MVP of the first innings. Um, and he's just getting started. He has 13 more balls. Now he has to make a decision whether he wants to take a single and keep strike for the next over, or does he want to milk this uh, bowler to get one more single and keep strike. They could have gotten two if they really wanted to, but Dane wants to keep strike because he wants to go after the bowling. He doesn't want Ricken or anyone to face any more balls. He wants to face all the balls. I feel like they're going to go after and get more twos going forward. Two more overs left, and they have two of their bowlers, Sudhanshu and Ovesh Gilani, left. We have to see who they're going to bring in. Are they going to bring in one of their spinners now, or Are they going to ask Ovesh to bowl his second over, get Dane's wicket, and hopefully try to contain these runs? 83 is a lot of score in the second game. They clearly look like they are looking to go past 100 runs. All right, Sudhanshu is back for his second over. Dane, I, he could have taken that single. He just wants to hit Sudhan. He's probably not going to give the strike. He's not there to take a single anymore. He's going to go after Sudhanshu. I wouldn't be surprised if he would come down or if he would just move across. That's a easy two, if not a boundary. Yeah, he placed it one bounce into the boundary, and that's why he didn't take that single previous ball. I want to see how many balls Ricken or any other person would play. The way Dan is going, this is mostly. Oh, he moved the long off fielder way to the left, and he's also moving the square leg or the fine leg into offside. So he basically has three fielders on the leg, deep square leg, cow corner, and a very fine long on fielder. So the straight field is absolutely empty. Once again, a single could have been stolen, but not. So far, if I were the captain, 3 balls, 4 runs, not a bad over, considering it was 83 at the end of 8 overs. Another big shot, this time onto the long on. It went past the concrete. Double blow six there. It was probably at least 80 meters, a long six, and that's exactly what Dane wanted to do. Not what Sidhanshu. He bowled two good balls outside off. I was surprised when he brought the ball back onto the stumps. Not a good ball, especially considering that you have so many seven fielder outside off. And see, that's the kind of ball that you should be bowling. And he went for a two here because he wanted to keep the strike and face the last ball. So he has two options here: either go for a boundary or get a single. I would be shocked if he would get a two here. So get the best out of Sudhanshu, go for a boundary, or just see, there you go. Another single. As I said, no one else is going to bat for Samp Army except for Dane for the rest of the game. It was very well executed. He got 14 runs in that over. Let's see if we could get 14 more to get to that 110 target, which seems like a lot of runs for for a team that's going to bat second. Last over, it's going to be always Gilani. We want to see the decision of the captain um, to not bowl wicket taking bowlers when you have two strong batsmen like Obus and Dane. They did a great job getting Obus pretty cheaply, but they couldn't execute that with Dane. Dane hit about two-thirds of the runs, 65 of the 96. And what if he bowled the fourth over and he could have done that with Dane? What if Dane would have gotten out cheaply with less than 20 runs? That we would never know. He hit 65 of less than 30 balls or around 30 balls. But the damage has been done. 96 on this wicket where the ball is keeping low. I think Samp Army is in the driver's seat. I think that a lot of times people think more about who's going to be bowling their 8, 9, 10, and forget that if you get your main wickets up top, then potentially your middle overs are also going to be pretty cheap as well. So going after the wickets, especially priced wickets like Dane or Obus, was the thing that was needed to be done, which they did not do. And now all the new batsmen, they don't have any pressure. It's the last over. They also have the runs. They could get twos and then call it a day as well. They don't even need to hit boundaries. Uh, that was a fantastic ball. Parveen Goyat uh, went for a big shot. Um, always is a pretty smart bowler. You probably could get a boundary out of him, but you're better off getting those twos. If you're smart, try to play it straight, long off or long on. There are two new batsmen. You can easily get those twos just playing straight. That ball was hit very hard. So getting two is not going to be easy, and that is the part where we miss. A lot of cricketers miss that. Is it worth hitting that ball that hard, where the ball reaches the fielder even before you complete your run? Probably not. You're better off just pushing the ball slowly so that they have to run in, and probably could get that too. The kind of decisions that you have to make when you have to decide between 2 and 4. This is a very good shot. Let's see if that was a shot that was just hit. That was an easy two if they ran for it. They chose not to. The bowler did not pick up the ball, and they had a chance to pick up the second run if they were a little aggressive there, a little greedy there, but not this time. Parveen wanted to keep the strike because he thinks that he could hit always for a boundary and get past that 100 mark. Another big swing. This time the ball going to the sweeper fielder, and they go for the second this time around. It was a very very good shot, but straight to the fielder, to the sweeper fielder. Always is bowling very smart, mixing up the deliveries, keeping it on the stumps, keep moving it around. I wouldn't be surprised if he bowls this ball back on the stumps. Another good ball. I hope he doesn't go for overthrows. That was very well executed by the keeper and the bowler. Fantastic last over. They were able to get to the 100-run mark and 101 to win. Always, who was expensive in the first over, but did only concede 4 runs in the last over. Very well done. We'll be right back. Welcome back to T10 Blaze 2023. Uh, the Ultimate Emperors are going to start their innings. Samp Army batting first scored 100 runs for the loss of 3 or 4 wickets, and the target is around 101. This is a very big target for the night game, especially chasing under lights. And you have really, really good bowling on the Samp Army side. And the batsmen are facing the first ball. That was a very bad ball, first bad ball, down the leg side by Sanjay Sihag. He has a field for him, so he could afford to bowl on the stumps or onto the pads. He has very fine third man and very and a deep fine leg. So he'll probably keep it as straight as possible. That was a fantastic ball that came in, and the umpire signaled that it was going down the leg side. I was very surprised that the umpire said it was going down the leg side. It looked like there was an inside edge, but looks like it was a very sharp cut that it took, which compelled the umpire, who is still signaling that the ball cut way too much and was probably going down the leg side. I wouldn't be surprised if DRS was available, they would have absolutely taken it. Probably something. And this was a fantastic in-swinging Yorker. As you could see, the middle stump is lightened up. It was a fantastic ball by Sanjay Sihag, taking the first wicket. As I was thinking, with the field that was placed, they would keep the ball as straight as possible. Dane and Obus coming to his side. With all their experience, they're telling what exactly, or reminding Sanjay what needs to be done here. We are giving you this field, and you have the talent, you have the bowling attack to bowl and execute for the field that we are giving you. So I don't think that there would be any different the rest of the over. He'll keep the ball trying as straight as possible, and in this case, swing the ball in, which is not that easy. You're a new batsman coming in. It's definitely not easy facing pretty fast bowling, especially when the ball is cutting in like that. You could see Obus and Dane both standing on the long on and the long off, respectively. Another ball. I don't even know why they're appealing. The ball almost hit near the stomach. But that was a fantastic ball. The ball came in again, and you can see by the way the batsman is playing, it's not easy when the ball is going out in the air and then cuts back in after it pitches. Fantastic first over, especially for the target that they have. Sudhanshu would be looking to score runs in the power play, and they could have stolen a run over there, but they chose not to. So far, a fantastic over, just a wide and a wicket, and then four excellent balls, four excellent dot balls. They could potentially wrap up this game in the power play if they could keep the score low, because we know unless you can hit the ball outside the park, it's not easy to score fours once the power play is done. Another fantastic ball, block hole. They tried to hit the ball, but it was too full, taking the inside edge and just staying on the crease. I don't think there is anything more that a captain would expect from their bowler. Taking a wicket and not giving away any runs off the bat with one ball to spare in the over. Let's see if we could get another wicket here. Another wicket right on the stump. Same or similar ball hitting the middle stump. What a fantastic over. As I was saying, potentially Samp Army could finish the game up in the power play itself if they could keep the score down to less than 20, which I think is quite possible. It's not an easy task to score 80 plus runs in on this field unless you have some super hitters that I'm not aware of. That ultimate emperors need to do something. And they also have Obus bowling the second over, who I think is an international bowler. It's not going to be easy. They're going for the kill here. They want to make sure that they put themselves in a position where they can try out other bowlers potentially and also go for run rate as well. It's not easy. 1 for 2 with the likes of Obus, Sanjay, Dane. It's not going to be an easy target. Samp Army was one of the favorites coming in into the tournament. They were one of the unbeaten teams. They had a very good start yesterday, which they fumbled and got a loss. Um, that was a pretty good shot by Chinmay for 1 run. Plays the ball, hit it towards the gully fielder. They ran a quick single. Very well done. The next batsman in, Niranjan Reddy. He's taking the leg stump guard. He's a lefty batsman, which would come in handy for a left arm spinner. So, good decision by Ultimate Emperors to send their lefty batsman against Obus, who has that angle to hit it across. Another ball that was so quick went to the keeper's hand very quickly. Not sure if the keeper was trying to get the stumping there, but very well bowled. Obus trying to keep himself warm, wearing the sweatshirt with a hoodie. Making a slight adjustment there, moving the leg slip into a deep fifth slip maybe. Another full ball onto the stumps. It's a fantastic quick ball in the air, not giving any time to the batsman. It's going to be a tough chase for Ultimate Emperors. Another good ball on the stumps. One of the things that I'm surprised by is how fine, how square the fielders are on the long onside. That was a quicker one outside off. The batsman definitely missed out. There was no fielder behind point and gully. He does have a deep sweeper. He has a sweeper as protection for that ball. Another good ball, hitting the ball into the point fielder, but they had a good start. Very well done. That's a fantastic second over. 3 for 2. 2 runs conceded by Obus in the second over. As I said, the run rate is over 12 runs and over already. It's as a captain, as an Ultimate Emperor player, it is not easy to be in this position. It is so tough to do something from this position, especially when you have bowlers like Sanjay Sihag and Obus bowling such a tight line. Looks like Sanjay is coming back for his second over. So they're going for the kill here. I wouldn't expect Sanjay to do anything different but to bowl on the stumps again. He once again has a deep. He has a deep third man, and his second boundary rider is in the cow corner area, which is kind of surprising. So he wanted to bowl full, and he's saying, "You can hit me across." That's what he did, and then there's no way if the keeper leaves the ball that it would actually go, that it would not go to the boundary. So not so good keeping on that ball. 4 byes conceded. The good thing is it doesn't count towards the bowler. It counts as extras. So The bowler shouldn't be penalized for bowling such a great ball. I would, though, move the fielder a little square for his pace. I'll be surprised if the ball would go towards the cow corner. I would rather have a mid wicket than a cow corner fielder there. That was fantastically cut using the pace of the bowler. It was a pretty good ball, but the batsman played an even better shot. All he had to do was use the pace and glide the ball through the point and the between the point and the gully fielder. Very well done. Let's see if the captain is going to make any adjustments. Two decent balls going for boundaries is not something that a bowler would like. It puts doubt in your mind whether you're actually bowling a good line or length. Let's see how Sanjay is going to come back. Is he going to keep it onto the stumps again, where you hit I miss, which is what should have happened on the first ball, but he missed the stumps and that ended up stumping the keeper and the ball went for 4 byes. Let's see if he's going to come back and bowl on the stumps so that he doesn't leave anything to the fielders. Batsman pretty smart, defending the ball. He was waiting for a flash. He wanted to hit a flashy shot, but there was no width offered. Uh, so pretty good bowling so far. Making another adjustment there. Um, he's moving the fine gully fielder Sahil more finer to make sure that they cover that angle. They have two fielders standing right next to each other within arm's length just to save that boundary there, because if you get it through those fielders, it's a boundary. They also moved the third man a little squarer now, so unless you hit it hard, it wouldn't go for a boundary. The point and the gully fielder are very close to each other. Another ball that was going down the leg side. Bowler was quick on his feet to pick up the ball and throw, but not hitting the stump. So a single stolen there. Umpire not signaling a leg by, so looks like it came off the bat. Probably an inside edge. Definitely going down the leg side. Clearly trying to attack the stumps, but the righty-lefty combination not working so great for Sanjay because he was bowling excellent to the righties. For the lefties, he was not able to bowl more balls onto the stumps. The field is being adjusted for the righty batsmen. They have two batsmen in the back behind the keeper, deep fine leg and third man for those edges, which obviously tells the batsman that he's going to keep it straight. Another good ball and a great shot. He couldn't get it past that fielder on the gully. Gully fielder is not very close. He's pretty deep. It went pretty quickly to that fielder. He did a good job making sure that the ball doesn't get past him. So at the end of the power play, Ultimate Emperors are 12 runs for 2 wickets down. Even though they got a couple of boundaries, they couldn't capitalize and make it a big over. They're looking at close to 13 runs per over, which is not an easy target, not an easy thing to achieve unless you can hit some sixes. It's pretty difficult, in my opinion, to get those kind of runs. Even though you have 8 wickets in hand and you have 7 overs to hit 89 runs, it's very difficult with how the field is spread out, and they have pretty smart, intelligent international cricketers in the name of Obus and Dane, who are always standing on and long off, supporting their bowler and making sure that nothing goes past them. That was a pretty loose delivery for his first ball for Danish Khan, who's a savvy veteran in this area. He's been playing for a very long time, gets a lot of wicket. Is a pretty good leg spinner, and pretty good feeler of his own bowling. So as you could see, he's keeping the ball on the wide line and bringing the ball in so that he can pull it a whole lot. That was a very, very well looped ball. So two dot balls in the fourth over, which puts all the pressure on Niranjan Reddy, who is just 6 off 12 balls. Not what Ultimate Emperors need. They really need some boundaries and some good. That was a fantastic ball. The batsman is running, but clearly that's bowled there. So the ball came back in pretty sharply. It came back so sharply that it didn't rise as much, and he bowled him pretty well. So Ultimate Emperors are in deep trouble, conceding 3 wickets to just score 13 runs, with the run rate going up each and every ball. The captain and the vice captain are discussing how what they need to do for the rest of the game, because clearly they have all the options that they at their disposal for such a big target. I think they're going to try out their different bowlers to see who they can use. Samp Army, who are coming in as favorites, it's going to be pretty easy for them to try out their bowlers now with the kind of situation that they put Ultimate Emperors in. It was a good ball and a pretty good shot by the new batsman Arslan. Chinmay, this is the fourth over, by the way, and Chinmay has only faced 2 balls, and that is pretty weird for someone who doesn't like staying on the non-striker. It's very weird to see someone be in the fourth over in a T10 game where you are basically played for like 35-40% of the game and just face 2 balls. And Chinmay is just has taken another single, so puts the new batsman back in. Savvy bowler, the ball just went up, but there's no fielder there. They should be able to get 2 runs. Oh no, Danish Khan he got to the ball, but he decided to not hurt himself. He could have taken that catch. If his life depended on him, he probably could have went for that catch. But then he decided to not go after that catch. I think he's going to get some slack from his friends because he didn't go after that ball. But maybe it is par for the course for his fielding. You never know. You need to be in the inner circles to know if that was a catch for Danish or not. At the end of the first over, Danish gave 4 runs for his 1 wicket, and Ultimate Emperors are in deep trouble, scoring just 16 runs in their first 4 overs. New bowler coming in, Dane. Looks like they don't want to try new bowlers. They do want to take those wickets themselves. Another ball that was hit straight to the mid-wicket fielder. Easy single there. Chinmay facing his fourth ball from Dane. Was onto the stumps. Easy single there. Singles are available all over the field. If there was 1 ball, 1 run needed, anyone could score. Bring any batsman within TCL and they will be able to score. That's the type of field that is being set. So even Samp Army is not trying to save any singles. They don't want to give the boundaries. They are more than happy and contented to give the single. He tried the dusra. You can clearly see the ball coming out differently from Dane's hand. He used his dusra is probably the finger dusra. So and another ball that was bowled on the stumps, and Arslan, the new batsman, went after it and got bowled. I think the formula is pretty straightforward. If you want to hit a six, go ahead, because we're gonna keep bowling straight, and you would make a mistake if you miss it. So far, we have seen 4 wickets go down, and all of them have been bowled. Two bowls by Sanjay, another bowled by Danish, and the fourth one by Dane. Let's see. I've never seen uh, all the wickets go down as bowled, but the way the field is placed, the batsmen are, I shouldn't say strong enough, but the batsmen are not timing the ball enough that the ball would go all the way to the shattered. So the ball drifted in the air, the ball kept straight or went out, and the batsman just got out of his crease, and the keeper was pretty quick to take the bails off. Fantastic bowling there by Dane. Um, I would try something here, not have all these fielders so deep, because just don't see anyone hitting the ball that hard where the ball would go that far. Number one, and then also the fielders that are inside the circle, they have no reason to be on the 30-yard right now. They could potentially come in and maybe go for the kill here. Last ball of the over coming up. Another ball that is, oh, it was a drop catch straight into the hand, and was dropped by number 27. Uh, it's Yogan, I think, who is a pretty good bowler. He opens bowling for Samp Army, um, but it was pretty quick. I know that Yogan Bhai pretty well. He was in the military in India, and he moved to the U.S. recently. Pretty good guy, friends with a lot of superstars in the TCL area. Very easy and nice guys to talk to. I wish he took the catch though, but it is what it is. The new bowler coming in. Um, no, it is probably still, no. It's new bowler. Yes, Jay is the new bowler coming in. Um, the match is pretty much under the wraps. 16, more than 16 runs per over. Uh, no power at all. I wonder who the marquee players for Ultimate Emperors are. We didn't see any six hitting batsmen so far. Chinmay Kushare, 5 overs, 4 balls, 3 runs. If there is, if Chinmay Kushare could be a spy for a government agency, because he is invisible. You can barely notice him and his stamp on this game. Somehow he has stayed on the non-striker. He would take a single, go to the non-striker, and then watch other batsmen get out on the other end. That's pretty much what has happened the whole second innings. We have the new batsman, Velkantan. Um, let's see if Chinmay is going to witness another wicket go down. He's averaging 1 ball per over, which is not pretty good. I could care less about his strike rate. I want to see his ball rate now. How many balls is he even playing per over? In the meanwhile, Jay Shah is bowling pretty good, um, keeping it tight, bowling to the wicket, bringing Chinmay back on strike. Another shot, but there is protection down there. Fielder picked up the ball. It is very interesting if you consider they are playing to score based on the merit of the ball, right? They're not trying anything flashy because they know that everyone who has tried to do something flashy has gotten out. Another good shot, even though the gully fielder missed it, point fielder was pretty attentive and stopped the batsman from getting the second. Pretty good fielding there, pretty good backing up there. Another good ball, using the pitch, using the ball and trying to flight the ball in the air, and that was a good dot ball. Pretty good over, 4 runs and 4 singles. Didn't quite create any opportunities, but at this point, Samp Army is pretty contented to just take the W and go home. This is a kind of game where I don't anticipate many people watching, but for all the people who are watching, thank you. Thank you to our sponsors, Sun Tech Pros, as well, who have organized such a great game for us. On a beautiful day, we just wish the game was a little bit more interesting. But nevertheless, it's a great place to be if you have friends around, walking around the park, um, and have a great night planned later on. Parvin Goeth, the next bowler in. This is probably the sixth bowler that Samp Army is trying. Um, they could try a couple more bowlers as well. Is it the sixth or no? We know Sanjay bowled couple, and yeah. So this is the sixth bowler then. Oh, what a good cut shot! But the sweeper is pretty square, and he was able to cut it off for a single. Parvin Goeth, who was the commentator yesterday, who was telling us or teaching us why Cow Corner was called Cow Corner. Um, Another good shot through the covers. The mid off the long off fielder was able to cut it off. I don't even see the intent. They're not scoring any runs, and they're not showing any intention to run the doubles. At this point, I would like to see some intent from Ultimate uh, Emperors to go for the two, put the pressure on the baller at least. Another ball that was bowled straight that went into the fielder's hand, and they were able to stop this single. So if you notice, these are the same shots, similar field. Other teams were able to secure those singles, and Ultimate Emperors are not able to convert the zeros into ones and the ones into twos. Another big heave on a ball that was bowled straight, a mistake that most of us do. We see the ball flighted up, we look at the cow corner or deep mid wicket, and we want to hit it over that. A lot of times, all you have to do is hit that ball straight. Hitting the ball straight in this occasion could have saved them from getting out as well. Chinmay Kushare, who was the spy in this game, got out, not doing much, to be honest. We know when he bowled, he was injured. He was favoring his thigh, his left thigh. Ultimate Emperors never looked that they were in this game, and the scoreboard kind of reflects that now. 24, close to 24 runs required per over. There's nothing to see here, to be honest, except if you're Samp Army fans, you have everything to see here because you get to see your friends, you get to see new bowlers being tried because it's not a batsman are another bowled, and Parveen getting 2 wickets in his last two balls. It's amazing what would happen if you bowl on the stumps on this wicket, and if you have the field set in the right places. And this is something that people should try. We have seen in the previous game as well that bowling on the stumps was very useful, but at the same time, you need the right batsman to hit the ball out of the park. If you don't have the right batsman, then bowling on the stumps is the best way to go about it. You see a lot of good players like Nikhil Kamrekar and others who are pretty smart, who would duck it for a single and try to use behind the stumps a lot more and make the bowler do something different. Uh, believe Obus is back. Uh, Maybe he wants to finish this game up quickly, uh, or maybe because he's the only one who probably didn't get a wicket, he wants to get some part of the action himself. I think the goal is still the same. Oh, I'm surprised that Obus doesn't have a slip in place. For the kind of bowling he's doing, for a new batsman, it would make sense that you would have a slip fielder. It's a good shot. The point fielder kind of was not able to stop, and it's easy double or maybe a single. It's an easy double for Ultimate Emperors. My apologies. I didn't think that was the new batsman. This is the batsman who's been set. Velkanthan, who was able to glide it between point and gully. Obus should know for the kind of bowling he's doing, he cannot afford to bowl that quick outside off, where all that the batsman needs to do is put it in between the gap. If I were him, I would move the fielder a little more finer, because right next to the point fielder, if anything, not have the fielder on the onside, because if you're bowling on the only time, I think Obus is going to make that change. He's probably going to bowl on the stumps now. Nope, but it was on the stump, but it was bowled a little slower. So that's the right way to bowl about it. The batsman is just trying to cut it. Anytime you see a righty batsman sees a lefty bowler like Jadeja or Obus, you feel like it's outside off, and you should be able to cut it. Another ball that was hit straight, going straight to the point fielder. Panesar gets his wicket. It was a fantastic ball. The ball jumped up on the fielder, but he was able to catch it very comfortably. So 8 wickets down, and 2 more to go. I would be surprised if Ultimate Emperors end up playing their full quota of 10 overs. This game is into the books, or at least right up there. The last page is being written, I suppose. But from the commentary box, thank you very much for listening in. Stay tuned for the next games that are going to be that we have tomorrow. So have a good night, folks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome towards the end of this T10 game. We have the Ultimate Emperors against Samp Army. Santec Pros TCL T10 Blast. Samp Army here, they're in a really comfortable position. 33 for a loss of 8 wickets are the Ultimate Emperors. This could not be any more simpler for the team, the Samp Army. One of the youths here we have batting, Bhuvan Saishwar Naidu Rongali. He's been really pumped up this season to play here at the Churchill wicket. Yeah, you can see him, he's all pumped up, ready to play all those shots. He's got all the shots in the book. And at the other end here we have Bragadish, very well known in the triangle area for his bats. Great willows. I highly recommend it. But when he came in the last over, but he hasn't taken any strike yet. It's his first ball. He's been looking forward to it. Young lad with a bright future. Parveen Goya, it's a great spell so far. It's 4 runs with 2 wickets. And this one has been launched straight on the ground. But it won't get past Obis. You can see him batting with that intent. He's not scared. He is fearless at the moment. Just ready to go. He's ready to strike that cricket ball as hard as he can. I think it's safe to say here tonight that Samp Army have gotten a comfortable win, and they'll be looking forward to continue the momentum throughout the season. It was well bowled by Parveen. One on the pads, a little bit quicker through the air. Bhuvan, he played it very well. Just flicked off the pads through to the gap. And a great spell by Parveen Goyat comes to an end. 7 runs for 2 wickets lost in 2 overs. And here we have another youth in action, Manan Taylor. Another youth player here in the triangle area with a bright future. Dane, an experienced player, giving the youngster some tips. I think at the moment, these 2 youths, they should just enjoy themselves. They're getting the opportunity to play at this beautiful ground here in Morrisville, North Carolina. They should take full advantage of it. And here we are in the last over of this T10 game.
Can you turn off your light, please?
It's been a fantastic showcase from the Samp Army team, restricting them very well. The first delivery from Manan Taylor stays low. Bhuvan wants to pull it. Rocks back on the back foot. Stays low, turns quite a bit, and Manan gets the upper hand. That's rattled the middle stump. Some great bowling there by the youngster. He's got a big smile on his face. He'll love that wicket. And I don't think it could have gone any simpler for the Samp Army side, but it just did. With just like that, one more wicket has fallen. Ultimate Emperors, not the outcome they wanted here tonight. Samp Army will go back home tonight feeling satisfied. They have truly dominated this game. Some great bowling here, Manan. He's sticking to the channel he wants. Getting all that revs on the ball, using the pitch to his advantage. Just 4 balls left in the innings to finish the game off. And that's a second wicket from Manan, and he will end with 2 wickets for no runs lost. And that will be the end of this T10 game, the Samp Army against the Ultimate Emperors. Samp Army side have truly just shown their class. They outsmarted, they dominated the Ultimate Emperors through all parts of the game. And tonight, Samp Army has taken the comfortable victory by 63 runs. Thank you so much for signing in, and we'll see you tomorrow.